I've tried to record this 3 times now. 3. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna let this ruin everything. I'm delirious. Okay. It's fine. There are so much worse things in the world than having the camera die on you. It's just there are so many worse things in this world. Like I'm fine. I don't have a chronic illness, unless you call being an idiot chronic illness. Then I have that.
Jemma Bayley reviews everything ever.
Hello and welcome to Jemma Bayley Reviews Everything Ever. It's me, Jemma Bayley. I am here yet again. Reviewing everything ever. I've done this a few times. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Speed review. We'll start with something that we all like. I'm gonna try and turn this around. We're starting with speed review of dinner. Dinner? Oh boy. It's right up there with breakfast. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but lunch is kind of a snooze. It's fine. You know, like lunch is just there to be like eaten, and it's in the middle of the day, and it's just like a num num num, keep on going, right? So lunch for me is a hard 2. Look, controversial. Breakfast is a 3. Dinner is a 4. Dessert is a 5. Oh no, fuck it. Dinner is a 5 and dessert is a 4. All right. Where's brunch? That's not real. That's not real. But for some reason, it's a 5. I don't know. I think because it's like whimsical. I think because it's got possibility within it. It's 2 things. Even though you would think that because lunch is a 2, like because lunch is sullying the concept of breakfast, or that breakfast is uplifting lunch, you'd think that it would be somewhere between like a 2 and a 3. But you're actually wrong. It ends up being a 5 somehow. It's like when they invented sporks. You know, like it's not a fork or a spoon. It's a spork. And somehow it's better. I'm just saying. Because we both know that a spoon is a 3. Yes. No, a spoon is a 4. Fork is a 3. Knife is a 3. Spork is a 5. Wow, wait, not only have I given you 1 speed review, I've given you at least however many I just gave you. And that's what speed reviews are for. Oh, you know what? We've all, like, I don't know how this has happened, but somehow we have started just doing phrases. I don't know when this started, and I don't know when it's going to stop. All I know is, here's the next phrase. It is, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You may have heard this when someone's gone to throw a baby out. You may have heard this when someone's gone to, you know the classic scenario that we all end up in, where we've got a bucket full of bathwater and we forget that we have the baby still in there, and we go to throw it out the window, as you do with bathwater, which is what you do, right? You go to throw it out, and someone goes, whoa, wait, there's a baby in there. And you're like, oh shit, I'm so glad you were here to tell me this information. Because I've got baby blindness. I only see water, you know? No, I don't know where this scenario has come from. I assume it's just like, okay, let's go back. What I get from this saying is, don't call it quits on something just because one thing goes wrong. Also, don't call it quits on something because it's like a little bit of it isn't perfect or whatever, which is a weird saying. Babies in bathwater is like a weird way to illustrate this, first of all. Second of all, I may be wrong, so we better look it up. Okay. Is an idiom that means you shouldn't accidentally discard something valuable or essential while trying to get rid of something unwanted. Oh, okay, that is actually something completely different. You shouldn't accidentally, so it's accidentally, discard something valuable trying to get rid of something unwanted. So it's not like you're trying to get, okay, all right, so it's accidental. That's where I'm getting like caught up. It's someone bringing your attention to something that you shouldn't be just throwing away, or you don't want to get rid of something good just because some of it's bad. It's a very real sort of idiom. I mean, I honestly, this reading of it I kind of like because it's like a very cemented, measured saying. It's like, hey, like look deeper than simply the black and white concept that this is wrong or bad or unwanted. What are the pieces in here that like are good and think about those and don't throw it all out. The unwanted part being the baby, of course. Keep the bath water. It's precious memories of having washed a baby. The phrase serves as a warning against making hasty, overzealous decisions. Love that. Not making hasty, overzealous against. I don't know if you've noticed this on Jemma Bayley Reviews Everything Ever and all the flippy floppying I do and all the like introspection that I do, but overzealous, yes. Hasty, no. I will overzealously go over something that I don't need to go over 100 times. That people go, okay, that's enough analysis on the rating system of animals. Arguably, some people have been like, it's too much rethinking. And to that I say, why do you say that? Why do you think that? Maybe we should look into that. This saying sounds great for me. The earliest recorded use of the proverb comes from the 16th century German satirical work by Thomas Munther in the 1500s. Jesus Christ. Historically, it reflects a time when families shared the same bathwater. The water would go dirty and dark from multiple uses. That it was easy to lose track of a baby while emptying the tub. Sorry, that is the saddest thing I've ever read. Like it's gotten murky and you're like, hold on, is there a baby in there? Like, you have to search you can't, who's letting a baby loose in there? It's like a baby loose. If you have lost a baby in your bath water, I think maybe you should not be a parent. I think it's like you're having baths and like la 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 la, and then you're like, there's less crying. Hey, when you threw out that bath water before, did you check if there was a baby in there? Fuck, no, I forgot to check if there was. Oh no, the baby was in there. Oh shit. Guess we'll have to make another. It's just the dad wanting to fuck. He's like, oh no, we've lost the. Oh, I guess we'll just have to do it. Because I assume that back in the day, in the dark times of Germany in the 1500s, that was just like normal things. Kids died all the time. Guess that's why the translation does not marry up to now. And also, I was loosely correct. I was half joking about accidentally forgetting baby was in there. As it turns out, was right yet again. Why do I second guess myself? Because I'm overzealous, that's why. If you have a specific situation in mind and want to help weighing the pros and cons to avoid making hasty decisions, let me know. Oh God, I forgot that. Okay, so the AI has taken over Google. Do you know this? Have you found that there's like a big AI overview on all the stuff? And I keep forgetting that it's there, so I keep reading it, and I'm like, so we don't actually know if any of this is. Sometimes it's not right-ish. How right can anything be, you know? Aren't we just all drifting along in this space of knowing and not knowing? And I mean, like, we could know, but that would require research. And we don't do that here on Jemma Bayley Reviews Everything Ever. I like it. It's got visuals. Instantly somehow knew the history of it without knowing. I did get it wrong though. It's about making a hasty decision without thinking things through. I thought it was about I originally thought it was, what the fuck did I think it was about? I think I thought it was like don't throw something out just because part of it's wrong, which is not the exact. Well, it is a saying I stand by, and I've heard it used a lot. And it's got visuals in it. This is really, and it's kind of fun. And the history of it is kind of ridiculous, which I like. Oh man, I think I'm scoring this highly. Let's give it a 4. Let's give it a 4. Yep. I feel good about that. You know what? This started as like a really shitty day. And I'm not going to lie, when I recorded the original version of this, I was pretty pleased. And when I saw I lost it, I was very upset. But now I'm feeling kind of good. Look, the two ones in between I hated. And they weren't even good recordings. I was annoyed I lost them, but they weren't even good. So This is shaping up to it. Sorry, I'm checking. I'm checking both of these things are recording. I'm checking, guys. I am checking. I'm checking that the voice recording is recording and is, and I'm looking at the camera that I can see that it's recording. So, I'm worried that going forward, I'm just gonna be like this all the time, like. We're reviewing loitering. Loitering being the offense. It's an offense. You can't loiter places. It's illegal sometimes. I don't know exactly how they actually charge you with that, with loitering, because loitering is a lot like standing, but it's not. Loitering is when it's like the legal version of lingering. Like, you're not allowed to linger. Loitering is lingering but illegal. So, like, you can linger places. Linger is the social crime. Like, if you're in a conversation and someone comes over and they you don't really like them and they linger for a bit too long, and they maybe they offer you some cheese. You guys are wondering what sort of situations I'm in when people come up to me and offer me cheese. I was at an event and I all I could think of was when people linger is when the servers come around and they kind of like offer you and they had like cheese hors d'oeuvres, and the person was standing there for a really long time, like just and kind of like was in the conversation a little bit, like was listening to what we were saying, and a little part of me is like, not to be pretentious, but I'm like, that's go away. I was being very entertaining, and they were probably like loitering, but not loitering. They were probably lingering because I was saying some crazy stuff, but I was also like, this isn't for you. This is leave the cheese and go. It was just funny to me. Anyway, so if someone is lingering, and it's outside the social parameter, you're like, hey, like I was actually having a conversation with this person and I can't speak to my full intent with an audience, basically is how I felt. I felt like I had to filter myself. I couldn't finish my story. That's lingering. Loitering is like when you have a business and there's a bunch of people outside kind of like fucking with the vibe. Is that what loitering is? It's like messing with the vibe of a place, and basically you can call the cops on that. I can't believe you can call the police over someone fucking up the vibe. Just calling it loitering. There are so many people I would call the police for loitering. I'd be like, if you had a mate and you were like just chatting, and then that piece of shit you both hate comes over, and you're just like, hello, yes, he's here again. And then the police come by and they're like, hey, buddy, you can't loiter here. And he's like, I'm literally just standing. And they're like, buddy, it's illegal. Sorry, I've gone on for too long on loitering. I actually don't know if it's illegal. I just realized. I'm just assumed that. Let's go. Although every time I assume, it's usually right. I call it assuming when I am saying knowledge without evidence for myself. Does anyone else do that? Is that just like me and my like crippling like intelligence issues? Like I have an inferiority over my intelligence complex. So whenever I say something that I'm pretty sure is a fact, I just say that I've assumed it, or I don't know, or I think this, instead of saying it is that, because I don't trust my own brain. This is weird. Sorry, this isn't sad. I'm learning, okay? Loitering is not a standalone crime in most jurisdictions, but it becomes illegal under specific circumstances. Like if you're holding a gun and shot someone. Hey, you got done for murder and loitering. Loitering is such a stupid add-on. You got done for loitering and spitting. I feel like spitting's not a standalone crime either. I feel like you can get done for spitting as well. Generally, it's not a punishable offense if you linger without clear purpose and or your presence violates specific public order laws, or you refuse to leave after being given a lawful direction. So okay, loitering is when you're doing something illegal while you're lingering. So loitering is like when you do lingering illegally through means of like disruption. So like if you're outside a business and the business says it's like, hey, if you leave, you're causing a ruckus out here, but you stay, that's loitering. However, if you're lingering and you're creating a ruckus and no one says anything, you're lingering. So really loitering is like if a tree fell in the woods and didn't make a noise, did you linger? If you lingered in the woods and no one called you out for loitering, did you was there anyone over there? Did a tree fall? If a tree falls in the woods, don't linger and watch it. Get out of the way. You could die. Oh God. I'm delirious now. I've gone delirious. I actually don't know what's funny anymore because I'm so mad. Oh, okay. Okay, key situations where loitering becomes unlawful. Failing to move on. Police officers have the authority to ask you to move away from a public space if you are causing an obstruction, acting violently, intimidating others, or if you're a suspect, if they suspect a crime is about to occur. It's a weird thing for police. You can't do. They're like, "Oh, crime's gonna happen here. Get out. Get out of here." Refusing to follow the police direction is typically an offense. That's too much power. Anyway, loitering with intent. Loitering with intent is so funny. Loitering with intent sounds like a band name. Many areas have laws against hanging around with specific intent to commit a crime. Okay, so you have to be thinking of doing like dealing drugs so that people can basically be like, hey, don't hang around here. We know what you're about. And you can be like, I'm just hanging out. And it's like, why would you just hang out specifically here every day where we've seen you deal drugs in the past? I have a feeling you're going to do it again. And then you're like, nah, just hanging out. Just hanging out playing with my Tamagotchi. You have bags of cocaine in, I can see them, causing public nuisance. Oh, love that. Standing idly is generally fine. Oh, thank you. But if your behavior becomes disorderly, indecent, or creates reasonable fear, anxiety to others. This is my stand-up. I could have been arrested by now. I could be in jail because all I do is stand idly and make people uncomfortable. Oh my God. I'm so sorry I've gotten to this point. I didn't mean to do this to you. I did not know loitering was going to get us here. I apologize. Well, I think we've spent enough time on the loitering subject. I think we should move on. I don't want to get arrested. So, what do we give loitering? Fuck, it's funny. But it is illegal. Well, it can be illegal. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense because it's anything can be illegal if a crime happens during it. So like loitering, it's like fishing. It's like you can't look, fishing can be illegal if you commit a crime while fishing. So you've been charged with gambling and loitering and fishing. Oh, he was racing the fish and taking bets. He was racing the fish and taking bets. That's what the fishing's about. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, we're done with this. Yes. Loitering gets a 2 because it's illegal. But however, it's not a terrible not crime. Okay, shit. We spent minutes on that. I would like to review farts. I was so upset. I just made a run sheet of things I thought would be like fun, and we're at farts now. So, first of all, I like to report I've never farted before because I'm a lady. However, I've experienced farts, and I have to say. Oh, sorry for the people listening. I'm just laughing and shaking my head. Oh, okay, sorry. Let's review farts. This is very important. Farts, the loitering of gases. They're not illegal, but depending on what you're doing while you're farting. So you've been charged with soliciting and farting. You've been charged with soliciting farts? That would totally that's a very real thing as I've learned earlier this year. Oh, no, I didn't learn this earlier this year. Hold on, let me rewind. I didn't learn that you could solicit farts. Oh my God. I learned that burping was a fetish. And then I went down the route of finding out that like any bodily function is a sexual fetish, and that's where I've tied the soliciting farts to, because it technically can be a sexual fetish. So oh God. Okay, so oh yeah, I personally don't like farts. I find them stinky gross. However, so the situation of a fart isn't fun to me. However, obviously, I find them hilarious. I think I never used to find farts funny as a kid, but as an adult, a fart just randomly happening in a movie, in a skit, just as a thing is so unbelievably funny to me. I don't know when this turn happened in my life. I think it was when I turned 30. I'm pretty sure if I could put it down to a time when I found farts funny, it was 30 for some reason. Okay, so if you're 29, get ready. Get ready for farts, poo-poos, and wee-wees to be hilarious. Leading up till then, you serious 20-something-year-olds, what do you find funny? Politics? Get a life. Me just getting mad at people who don't know how to enjoy humor. So farts as a thing, not funny. Farts as a comedic piece to watch in cinema and media, very funny. Farts medically, interesting, because you can actually there's a lot of like farts can indicate different things. Like, I don't know if you know, like, in the same way that if your pee is smells sweet, you might have diabetes. I was going to say tastes, and I'm really glad I didn't. However, because my brain operates faster than my mouth, now you know that's what I was thinking, and it's made my point moot. So now you know I was thinking taste. God damn it! I just wish my mouth would shut up. Okay. What am I doing? I'm just going to quickly research if the smell of your farts can indicate a medical issue. Here we go. Does the smell of your farts mean anything? Yes. Whoa. But usually not in a concerning way. If you have it means you have a tiny butt. And you have a big, then you got a big ass. No, let me read the actual. Let me not make up my own stuff. Who's letting me do this? The vast majority of farts are odorless, and the ones that stink are typically just normal side effects of your diet or the unique bacteria in your gut microbiome. When it might mean something else. Passing gas is a healthy and normal process. However, you should consider consulting a doctor if your farts are persistently foul and accompanied by anything other than the following symptoms: persistent severe abdominal pain and cramping, blood in your stool, fever, unexpected weight loss, a sudden change in your bowel habits. Guys, farts are a real canary in the cave of your colon. Actually, canaries are the canary in the cage of your colon, because I'm sure if you farted near a canary, it would die. I'm not sure of that. Canaries in the cave. So the canary in the cave, we know this. Canary in the cave, because it's such small lungs, if there was like a toxic smell in the gas in the air, it would kill the canary first, and then everyone else could be like, oh, the canary's dead, let's get out of here. Or if you want to throw a sickie in a mine, you just kill the canary and be like, oh guys, we're gonna go home. Yeah, that's me as a miner. Miners and canaries usually don't go together well, because the canary always ends up dead. Actually, even children miners end up killing canaries because they're so small. And they're not good at patting gently, I've noticed. So, bigger animals for kids to play with, please. I don't know how we got here. Just a PSA. If your kid is a squisher, don't give him a hamster or a bird. I don't know how we got here. This is becoming real fast. One of the weirdest episodes. Okay, let's go back to farts. Let's go. So, farts. Situationally, not funny. Media, very funny. Medically, not funny. Where am I trying to get with this? Fuck, I think farts are funny. I'm giving them a 4 because they're not like it's here. They're not really like dangerous, and they are just a funny thing that humans do. I can't believe out of all of the like we have evolved so much. We have less hair. We're bipedal. We still fart, and I find that great. I would like to review leprechauns. They're Irish. They wear green. They're at the end. They're at the end of the rainbow, I think. Are they? I don't know if they're there. They got coins. They like coins. They're with the coins at the end of the rainbow. They're lucky? I want to say they're lucky. They're gnomes. I don't know. I actually, up to this point, thought I knew what a leprechaun is, and I don't think I do. Are they just guys? Find out. Did not know that's how it was spelled. Leprechauns! Leprechauns are legendary supernatural beings. Hey, I thought they were just little guys. From Irish folklore, traditionally depicting as solitary fairy cobblers. They're fairy cobblers. Known for their mischievous nature, they are said to hide pots of gold at the end of rainbow. That's their trade. Hiding pots of gold. They're kind of like those guys that leave money places on the internet. Have you seen those videos? It's like reels and TikToks where there's they get money and they put it behind a sticker and they put it somewhere, and then the first one to get to the sticker gets the money. Have you seen that? They're like modern day leprechauns. They're not. That's not anything like any of that. Anyway, let's go. Let's continue on. They've said to hide pots at the end of rainbows and grant wishes when kept. I didn't know that. They grant wishes when oh, okay, sorry. You can have whatever you want. That's not a wish. That's just them feeling threatened. It's a funny concept that leprechauns aren't they think they're granting wishes. Really, they're just scared, and they're like, okay, take the gold. Like, what do you want? I'll make sure you can get it. Like, it's just a guy who's trying to barter himself out of being captured, pretty much. They're tricksters. They're cobblers. They're associating with mending shoes. Interesting. Oh, that's what a cobbler is. I thought for a second there, I thought a cobbler cobbled. I guess cobbling is fixing shoes cobbling? Cobbled. Is that how you if you cobble, is that if you cobble, is that just you fixing a shoe? They are incredibly wealthy from hoarding gold during wartime, but if captured, they are known to use trickery to vanish when their captor glances away. So keep an eye on them if you capture them. Also, I would use trickery. Everyone would use trickery to not be captured. So what do we give leprechauns? As far as a mythical creature, I genuinely did not know that they had, like, powers. I'm still not entirely convinced they have powers. It sounds like they just fix shoes and they hoard money. So is that not every single shoe designer's description? All I'm saying is whoever made Louis Vuittons, I'm pretty sure they're rolling in cash. So does that make them a leprechaun? I don't know. Anyway, they're so funny. They're so funny. They're not like, it's not like unicorns or mermaids where they're mysterious and they're just kind of funny. Their powers aren't overly good. In fact, all their powers only activate at their demise. If they get captured, they answer the wish. Like, they're rich, kind of. It's not really that supernatural, apart from the rainbow thing. The rainbow thing's pretty impressive. I can't get to the end of the rainbow. No one can. It's an optical illusion. Guys, if you've been trying to get to the end of one, just know that that's not possible. I spent an entire year figuring that out. Imagine the concept of me, Jemma Bayley, spending a gap year trying to get to the end of a rainbow, only to find out in, like, a science class that it's not possible, and me being like, well, I wish someone had mentioned this sooner. Okay, sorry. Look, they're fine. We'll give them a 3. Being an alright pod. Or I'm going to edit this and it's going to be completely unusable. So, thank you for hanging around for that. And I needed this. Okay. Goodbye.